Let's get a little pre-stream audio test going. How do I sound, all you fancy, friendly people? Red leather, yellow leather. Do some vocal exercises. Sound good? Normal? Okay. Thank you very much. I go now to make the tea. I return soon. Hello, all you early birds. Everyone getting here minutes before showtime. Hagar, Hatopus, Aruhi, Star Chaser, Regnar, Arvarix, Alasa. Orca, good to see you. Supply, hey. Marin Deadeye, cool name. Final Breath. Hello everyone, welcome. It's gonna be more of a chill day this time. Going over the event. Omen. 1 tea and water. I've actually had several cups of tea already, so I'm trying to cut down for the rest of the day. So we're gonna have a more chill time. Alright, and here we go. Greetings, champions, and welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy game from Codename Entertainment. Some cool guys up in Canada. On this partner stream, we take a look at all the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you may have about the game to the best of our ability. And if we don't know the answer, we will point you somewhere that you can get the answer. Anyway, get cozy, get a cup of tea, or whatever you prefer, and just sit down, hang out with me for a couple of hours as we take a deeper look at all things Idle Champions. Today is Wednesday, August 12th, 2020, somehow. And in this episode, we will be talking more about the current event, Agaren's Day, Year 3, and Omen Dran, our newest champion to have joined the roster. I had a request last week to show off what grinding the event with Motron automation might look like at like higher end playing. So yeah, we're gonna be trying that today and setting that up. And of course, we'll be answering any questions that you have. So just hit me. I've got a highlight thing going for me, so hopefully it'll help me catch all my questions. Hello, Lyra. Welcome. Hello, Ziad Zior, who is apparently Zaro, right? On Discord. The code is bugged. It was just approved this morning. This should be correct. Cine, are you there? Can you help me out? John? Yeah, let's watch my own stream. Expired. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, all right, we'll give it a shot. Oh yeah, offers expired. Weird. Maybe like it was randomly generated once upon a time, and it just happened to get generated a second time. That's not likely, but it's possible, I guess. Anyway, Cine says you're looking into it now. Thank you very much, Cine. So, just chill. It's a chill day. Chill time. Give it a bit. Oh, really? Okay. Alright. Jadjor. Is that better? And in Discord, it's Tish. So like Charo? Oh, that's difficult to say. That's more like it? Okay, great. Shout out to Jadjor / Charo for helping me out with the latest update to the... What do I call it again? The CVA, the Champions Visual Aid. Yeah, they had a suggestion for putting a border around the champion portraits, because we have a lot of them now. It's kind of cluttered, and I think it was a significant improvement. So thank you to you for suggesting that. Omza, I am enjoying Omen. I think he's pretty cool. I like his ultimate very much. If you've seen Sidelisa's evaluation, I think he got like a 7 out of 10 overall, something like that. Which is, if I'm being honest, probably where you want a champion to land. Too high of a rating means they're completely busted. They're like Avern or Krull. And that just... It kind of breaks the game open too much. And of course, too low is bad. So, yeah, like 7 or 8, probably about what you want someone to land on. Yeah, Nick Tavener, Patapole, everybody's saying that... Sarcastic. Everybody's saying that this code has expired. Patience, please. C&E is looking into it, and hopefully it'll be sorted out. I even tried testing it on my own show just now, and it also didn't work. So, give it some time, people, and hopefully it will be fixed. Like all things, eventually. Everything gets fixed eventually. Sometimes it just takes a while. Okay, so I just have my Mad Wizard formation running right now, and this is just on automate up to stage 30, reset, stage 30, reset, stage 30, reset. And they've been going for 1,090 runs on automation like this. So this has just been several days of letting them just have at it. And that has enabled me to save up some more chests to open on the show today. Now, I'm not going to open all of my gold chests. I'll open some of them, but not all of them, because I'm holding on to them for a reason. No, I do not leave my computer running overnight. Yeah, Signy is looking into the code not working, so everybody who's noticing the code's not working, don't freak out. No panic. no panic. Just hit the microphone, sorry. Yeah, I know. I just, I liked watching this number go up. I just like seeing the resets done going up really high. I mean, I guess I could have set it down to like stage 1 or something. That'd be kind of ridiculous. Somebody was asking what level my cores are at now. So my, what is this? Quick core or swift core or something like that? I just took out an important pipe. Oh no. That is an aggravating thing about this sometimes. When I'm just clicking to drag it around, I'll accidentally end up clicking a pipe and moving it, and then it messes up everything. Anyway, I just got to level 7, like, yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. Modest core? Okay, thank you. Anyway, whatever this core is, the starting core, I've got it up to like 7.5 now, whereas my strong core is almost halfway to 2. I've been more or less ignoring this, the strong core. Yeah, the fact that you have to get it to level 3 before you can even engage in the automation is just kind of off-putting for me, so I haven't really put much work into it. Yes, I'm well aware that the code's not working. It's not my fault! C&E's looking into fixing it, and I'm sure they'll let us know as soon as it is fixed. It could be the case that, like, I just had my code approved this morning, like just a few hours ago, so it may just be, like, too last minute, perhaps. Usually I get it done several days ahead of time. Anyway, somebody asked, Presia, or Presea? That's a Tails character. Anyway, do you have a link to the champion power chart you mentioned? Yes. Exclamation mark CVA? What? Erica, it was my fault. It apparently was my fault. I accidentally set the code to expire today. And not a week from today. Oh, my deepest apologies. I've been scatterbrained, y'all. It's been a rough week for me. Life's gonna be changing pretty soon for me. Again. But in a good way this time. But, yeah. It is my fault. I accept the blame this time. Alright, we're already 8 minutes in and we're still not actually showing off the event, so let's do that. If you're not aware yet, then shame on you, you should be. We are currently in the midst of Agarin's Day Year 3. This is the second week of the current event. There's 4 days, 22 hours, basically 5 days remaining. It'll end on Monday at noon Pacific time, as normal. Our returning champions are Year 1 Jim. Wait. Was Jim was year 2, wasn't he? And Ishi was year 1? Oh man, my CVA would tell me. Yeah, this is why I use my resources, so I don't have to remember it myself. Oh yeah, it was Ishi and then Jim. You can tell because the achievement associated with them. Like for Ishi, the stage goal achievement for free play is 175. That means she's a year 1 champion. And Jim is 225, so he's a year 2, and Omen is 275, he's year 3. And I guess starting next year, we'll be going up to 325? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. It also shows on the left. Okay. Oh yeah, it does, with the little year icon. Would you believe I've never noticed that? I've actually seen these in the game's files, but I wasn't sure where they were located in the actual client when I had the game open. I've just never noticed that before. Fun. Cool. So, we are in the midst of Agarin's Day, or Egg Heron's Day. If you've never read the dialogue in this adventure, you should. It's actually really funny. I'm going to manually reset this, unfortunately ruining my, my high score for total resets done here. See, I'm curious if this will actually go into scientific notation if it gets to like 10,000 plus runs. Does anyone know? Has anyone done 10,000 runs without manually resetting their automated core yet? I would love to know. I assume that it would, because like even gems and chests and potions will go into scientific notation once they get high enough. Alright, so we are going to go to Agarin's Day, and I'm currently at 3 out of 6 epics on Omen. So what I would like to do is just set up my formation here, and for like speed champions, and put familiars on the field, put something on click damage, and then like just set up Motron automation to just run through 50, reset, and then just keep going like that. We'll see how it goes. I've actually never done this before. I've never set up event automation, so I hope that it works fine. I'm not really too worried about it. But this is a learning process. We're going to learn together. Nocturne asks, what's the reason for keeping gold chests? Ah, because when a new Evergreen champion releases, like Dragonbait, Nizaka, and Dritz. Anyway, whenever one of those releases, one of the popular things to do is to save up 60 or more gold chests, because that way you can get them guaranteed fully epic on day one. And that's because, like, there's a pity timer of 10 to get a guaranteed epic from a chest, from gold chests. So there's 6 gear slots, and if you have every other Evergreen character fully epicked, then it should take you exactly no more than 60 at the maximum to get the new character fully epicked out. C&E said that the code works now, and I'm seeing people in the chat confirming it. So, just to make absolutely sure, for the sake of my own sanity, let's do this. Oh, Baby League, set it to level 51 to be sure you get the chest. You tried at 50 and it didn't work. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, I got the thing. Hey Ma, I got the thing. Alright. Let's go ahead and get Deacon up to speed. Oh. And I want Sentry on Echo. This morning I actually did a deep run so that I could get up to E30 favor in the event. See, it says 2.70 E30. Just to make sure that we can like most efficiently set up our speed team and all. I doubt that we actually need Havalar here, but let's do it anyway. I don't remember if there's any fiends in this. I don't think there are. And I want Shandy. Sure. And I'll just unlock people. It doesn't really matter. Nova's cool. Nova is cooler than Puent, in my opinion. Okay, so this is a terrible looking formation, but that's fine. Oh, you know what? We should get Omen out, though. Yeah! It's Omen's event, after all. It's only fair. And for that matter, let's get Jim. Not Ishii, though. I do need Sentry out here to go fast. I actually haven't done a push using Jim's formation yet. My deep run this morning was using Omens, just because that's whose chest I'm currently farming. If I can get Omen to fully epic, then I will pivot to using Jim and try to just get more Jim epics, because he's also 3 out of 6, come to think of it, with a shiny on 6. Yeah. Okay, we do not have everyone out yet. And let's just go for close allies. I'm going to put him here. Yeah, this is fine. The exact setup here doesn't really matter, because we just need people out on the field to just, like, we want my speed champions, and we want people out on the field who are just going to hit the segmented health obstacles and enemies. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to open this up. Turn all these off for a moment. Okay, so I think first thing I need to do is save this formation, right? So let's do MGH auto runs with a Z because it's cool. Sure. Don't worry, I remember Area 51. Area 51, oh that's funny. That's an easy way to remember that, huh? Okay, great. Cool, let's do that. Let's do that. And I want this one. Thank you. Specializations. Yes, 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 yes. Good. Okay. Set buffs. Sure. Because I have enough to warrant doing so. Boop. Let's do that. Okay. And now this should, theoretically, just automatically run through the event. Hopefully. I have plenty of tokens to burn here. I guess we could do like 10 runs like this before I run out of tokens. Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, and I'm going to set it to times 100 instead of upgrade, and I'll show you why shortly. Glacier asks, is it new that Area 50 doesn't work? For me, Event to 50 always works. Hey, it's news to me too. I just heard about this from somebody else in the chat. I already forgot who suggested it. Oh, well, that's awkward. Hey, the game still crashes sometimes. I was wondering if that might happen. Just a moment. We're doing it live, as they say. Hey look, I earned 1 token while I was offline. Awesome. I've got the wrong version listed. Oh my gosh. I swear it was 342 this morning. Now it's 343. What is going on? People rolling out updates without letting me know. Alright, there we go. Yeah, how dare they push regular updates. Now, I think I do need to resummon the imps. Yeah. Yeah, when you close the client and reopen it, Havilar forgets that she has imps out. X to Z, of course I have tea. I always have tea. Have you never been to the show before? I always have tea. And today, just as somebody asked earlier in the Discord what I'll be having, I said I was going to have an oolong today, and I carried through on that threat. Just a nice, basic oolong. Not fancy. It's just been maybe a year since I've had oolong, so it's nice to come back to it. How dare they improve the game? I suppose I could put familiars on some of my ultimates, like Celeste's. Anyone whose cooldown is really low, because that'll give it more of a chance that their ultimate will actually matter when I'm on a segmented health stage. I'm going to put a familiar on Owen's ultimate as well, just so that we can see it, because it's very good. Look at that. Look at those Spirit Guardians go. They're so cool. Love that. Hey, I have a wild offer. You guys want to see it? It is for, I think, the 3rd time in a week, Zorbu's Seething Hatred Golden Epic. This game is very aggressively telling me to get this Golden Epic. It keeps showing up in my wild offers. Not that I mind. It's a good one. Maybe I should just cave and get it, huh? Stolen by friend. You've been playing since day 1. You have every champion. Nice. Well, join the club. Many of us do. Oh, you're having trouble with the Motron interface? So, you access the Motron interface by clicking on Adventuring Parties, which is the icon to the right of the Familiars icon. Why is my camera all fuzzy? Come on, work with me here. Anyway, once you're in here, then you can click on the Motron core itself, and this will take you to the pipe game. So you can pick out all your Motron components, and oh my gosh, thank you, CNE. I suggested many times and begged and pleaded for a sorting and filtering system, and they followed through. Thank you. Emphatically, thank you. Love that. The pillows are brighter than my face. I knew I shouldn't have made my bed after all. The game is showing that you do not have any cores at all. That's not right. If you've completed the adventure, that's not right. Hey! Alright, here we go. We did it. Aha! And, if I may show you, look at Havilar. She has her imps out. I have not fired her ultimate to summon her imps. And if we go to look at her, formation buffs, finish resolve, Dembo. So, it actually does count as her imps have been summoned. So she's on her double fiend quest progress imp currently. See, if you set your level up scheme to something other than upgrade, then Havilar will remember that she has imps out from the previous run, so that you don't have to go through and manually resummon them again. So it's just like just a little thing, just like a little micro thing that helps, you know. I'm sure the scripters would love that. Would love knowing about that. I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't been talked about in the community before. I've actually been meaning to bring this up for a couple of weeks now, and I just keep forgetting to talk about it. Yeah, it's pretty nice, especially since putting it at times 100 is also the fastest way for your speed champions, let's say, to get their specializations going, like, as early as possible. So, yeah, at this point, I can be hands-off for the rest of the stream. Just let this ride. Oh, did you know there's new challenges available? I cannot make this go away. It keeps popping in, like, every run that I go into. The Sifu has a question about the Gems visual aid. Oh boy, I know it needs updating. After getting all commons for Evergreen Champs, why do you suggest getting all uncommons before opening gold chests for rares? That's actually a question for Garwar. It was a collaborative effort. Garwar and I, like, agreed on the general approach. Way to pass the buck. Well, come on. We both have to take responsibility here. We talked about everything and we came to an agreement on the general, like, approach. But it's, again, just a general approach. If you disagree, that's totally okay. Do your own thing. Fly your own flag. Make this game what you want it to be. You don't have to listen to us. Who are we? The wild offers are on kind of a timer. It's like something like it'll only show up once every couple of days or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head what the fine details of the wild offer timer is. Oh yeah, Gar, sorry, yeah. Yeah, the Sifu was asking about specific progression element of the Gems visual aid, which needs to be updated. I need to update the GVA to include the new familiars now, as well as Motron stuff. Well, Kilt, to be fair, I haven't actually tried it with times 1, 10, and 25. I've only tried it with times 100. But if you do have it set to times 100 and you have, like, enough favor for her to just, like, get instantly unlocked and jump past her unlocking her ultimate in one swoop, then yeah, that seems to work. This is actually why I pushed my favor this morning for the event, so that I could specifically show this off. It's a tiny, tiny little exploit. Just a little bitty exploit. But I think it's nice because it kind of cuts down on what I would feel like is the only downside of Havilar, which is the the tiny frustration of having to reach over and make a single left click with your mouse each run. So I hope this is something that doesn't get fixed, because it's a very, very small thing. It literally saves you 1 mouse click per run. That's it. So hopefully this stays. And you're welcome, if that helps you. Do I have a hack for Briv stacks? No. I'll be honest, I don't use Briv often enough to have figured out anything special for him. Heavy does need to have a specific imp out, which is the one she currently has out. Heavy has 3 different imps, and the starting imp in the rotation is the one that you want. Dembo. Yeah, I am missing a few epics on Omen. Here's my Omen so far. Epic, blue, 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 epic, epic. My first epic's landed on his ultimates, unfortunately. Anything else would have been better. But at least I got them out of the way, you know? And now we're just going to freely and easily grind out chests all stream. So we've already done like 2 runs, and we're only a quarter of the way into today's show. I think we're actually going to be able to get through all of my tokens here. Nice. Nom 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 nom. Good name. Is Total Recall your ultimate date movie, since it suggests that your prospective partner should go to Mars? I've never seen it, actually. I've never seen it. I've seen a lot of good movies lately, but I've not watched that one. Most recent movie that really wowed me that I saw is I know it's a classic. It's just one of those that I haven't seen. Some people haven't seen every single classic movie. One thing that I've seen recently that I thought was really good is called I Am Not an Easy Man. It is a French film, and it's all about like gender discourse, basically. So that was really cool. It was very eye-opening. I learned a lot watching that movie. It was satisfying in a lot of ways. It's on Netflix. Really liked it. Wait, they did a remake of Total Recall? I didn't even know that. RE, with new event champions, should you break the all silvers first thing and open 1 gold first, since the blue can't roll into another blue as you don't have yet, then do all silvers, then back to golds? You can. That is a strategy that some people do. Some people do the strategy of opening 1 gold, then all the silvers, and then the other golds. Some people use the strategy of opening all of their silvers, and then, when the event's over, all of their golds. Just in case they keep getting more silvers and golds, you know. But still other people, like myself, just open chests. Doesn't matter. Yes, I cannot recall the remake of Total Recall. Damon Black, which event formation do I think is best for pushing? Well, let's actually take a good look at that. So it's something that I've been giving some thought to. It depends on like who you want to use, right? So like Regis, for example, wants as many people in the column that he's targeting with his buff as possible. So like the Gems formation is really good if you like using Regis, because you get 4 in a column. That's great. Plus it's a single tank. I love single tank formations. But then again, Reclaiming the Past for Ishii, although it being a dual tank formation, you can just use Turiel to force it into a single tank formation, which I pretty much always do when I have to deal with more than 1 tank. I always just use Turiel. Love using Turiel. Whichever one you do, just don't do Omens. This is fun for me, like as a challenge, but I think if you're just going for, you want something easy to work with and you want to push as far as you can and make as much gold in favor as you can, I think this one's going to be trickier. I think this one's going to be more difficult. And if difficult appeals to you, great. Otherwise, it depends. Do you have Turiel? Or you just don't mind doing multi-tank? Go ahead and use Ishii. Ishii has like a lot of adjacencies here. Like you've got a 5 adjacency here, you've got 4 here, you've got 4 here, you've got 5 here. So if you're using champions that have a lot of adjacency buffs, then Ishii's is good. Gem, It's better if you care about like how many you have in a column. Or if you like to use Moonbeam Tyrrell, well, honestly, they're all good for Moonbeam Tyrrell because you can get just a single adjacency no matter which one you go with. So it really depends on like what champions you want to use. Thully, is there an easy way to buy 50 gold chests for gems, or do you have to buy one at a time? You have to buy one at a time, unfortunately. You're not the only person who has that complaint. Many people do. But they made it easier. In fact, I'll show you. If I go to the shop, just like it is, and I go to gold chests. So it used to be the case that you'd have to buy one, and then click this again, and then buy one, and then click this again. But now, they've made it so that it will just reselect what you purchased. So you can just click this. And that's an improvement. Is it ideal? No. It's better than what we had before, which is a step in the right direction. Gems are for Motron cores, not just... I already have the strong Motron core. Look. See? I've got both cores going. Don't need to save gems for that. How did I get 500,000 gems? Look, I'll be honest, CNE just gave it to me. They wanted me to show off how to purchase the core and doing all the pipe game elements with the Motron components, so they just gave me the gems to get it. Because it would have taken me like 6 months to actually grind for that many gems. And by then, Motron would be old news, no one would care. Not fair, I'm sorry. I could save up 500,000 gems and then ask CNE to take it away, if it makes you feel better. I would do that. I would do that for you, Nocturne. Should we open up the Omen chest as we go? Or should we save them all for the end? I kind of just want to open them up as we go, because we might want to switch to doing gem runs instead. Not to be confused with gem runs. Gym runs. My accent might disguise that a bit, but I will try to enunciate. Yeah, I'm going to open them up as we go. So we've already done 3 runs. Let's see what we get. Child's Contract. Omen has some really good flavor text on his items, by the way, if you haven't seen them. Hey, maybe we'll even get a natural shiny for Omen. That would be cool. Probably not, though. That's only happened to me once. I've only managed to get 1 natural shiny for an event champion so far. Yeah. And that was on Birdsong during her release. So it's like year 1. It's a while ago. Matter of Doom made a spreadsheet for determining when they will hit their strong core. Jeez. Nice. Well, good luck. My room is so tidy. I cleaned it nice and special today. Thank you, Towen. Clean home, clean heart. This and other idioms brought to you by, I don't know, Mars. Just me, I guess. What did my room look like previously? Well, my room's been changing a lot this year. And will likely change again at some point. Hopefully, in fact. So, enjoy it while we have it. It's not gonna last. Should we put on more speed potion and make this go even faster? I feel like we should. Because we can set multiple speed potions. Okay, we'll go a little bit faster. I'm not going to use the high-end potions, just the smaller speed potions. Truck, don't be hard on yourself. It's not a competitive game, and I've been playing this game for what feels like eons. So, you will get to this point eventually if you just stick with it. This is ultimately a game of patience. You just started playing it. Welcome to Idle Champions. Hi, I'm Mars. Happy to have you. Thanks for coming by. I'm a moderator, community leader, resource maker, official streamer, and all kinds of fun things. Happy to have you. I think this is episode 20-something of Mars Guiding Hand. So we've been doing this for like half a year now. Ever since, what, sometime in January? Oh yeah, !Discord. You'll get a link to the official Discord server for Idle Champions that you can join and hang out with us. Was the button right from Familiars? Well, Jim, I'm glad you asked. That is the Adventuring Parties button, which is how you access your multi-party adventure mode, and Motron automation, which is like the latest major mechanic that's been added to the game. It's very recent. It's very new. So it's still a little glitchy. There's some bugs to work out. But they are getting worked out, is the important part. And it does what you see happening on the screen right now. Resets your runs for you. As well as other things, too. It allows you to run multiple parties at the same time. So, like, currently, I can do 2 different adventures. Like, my background party is also doing an Omen free play. Very, very slowly. Whereas my foreground party is running, they're currently on their 5th run now, and we are only 38 minutes into today's show. So, it's going very quickly. It's excellent. What am I up to as far as average item levels on Omen goes? 28. Okay, so we've got a ways to go. He's over halfway to my goal. See, my personal goal for every event champion is to make sure that they are all average item level 50 plus. So 50 or higher. If I go take a look at like the time gate list of all event champions and order them by average item level, you'll see that all of them, except Omen currently, are at 50 plus. So I gotta catch Omen up to speed before his event ends. And if he's not there when the event ends, I'll just do time gates for him. Trevshon Jax. It's hard to say that name. Mars, do you use chat feature when you play WebGL? Kind of. I haven't played WebGL in quite a while. I played WebGL exclusively for my Gearless account, which is over a year ago at this point, and I did frequently use the chat function to talk with people there. Nowadays, I mostly just chat on the Discord, sometimes in Reddit, Twitter, here in the Twitch chat very, very often. But no, I don't really talk in the WebGL chat rooms, not these days. At the very least, I try to just post in there like, hey, I updated my visual aids, and then leave, just so that people can see that, in case they might miss that through other means. Yeah, a Motron is the most basic form of Modrons, like plural. I think a monodrone is the lowest form of Modrons, but I think monodrones are also just called Modrons. Anyway, then there's like duodrones, tridrones, quadrones, pentadrones. So like they basically go up in number of sides, right? Because they're just like polyhedrals. They are polyhedral alien robots that don't really have a mind of their own. They do the bidding of the great Mechanus. Yeah. Yeah, they are from a different dimension. I'm trying to explain this in like non-D&D terms. They're basically alien robots from another dimension that hold the fabric of the universe together by just doing all of the menial labor that such a monumental task would require. They don't take sides in the war between good and evil. They just do their jobs. And because they're like beings of pure law, you can generally always predict their behavior. Which is why one of the events, March of the Modrons, has such an interesting story. Because there isn't supposed to be a Motron March happening, and yet there is! That's a problem, because it looks like they're gonna flatten all of Waterdeep. Hello, Reaver, welcome. Yeah, Dungeons & Dragons has some really fascinating multiplanar, like, other reality, interdimensional nonsense. Some really good lore to all of that. I couldn't actually stomach sitting through Planescape Torment. I came into it late. It was already many years old by the time I got around to playing it, and by then it just wasn't my kind of game. But if you're interested in all of the extraplanar lore, you can get a ton of it by playing that game. Or just reading some books. Baby League, Mars, what would be your alignment if you made your character based on yourself? Okay, so back in college, my friends and I made D&D characters of each other. Because we thought, like, well, we're too biased of ourselves to be entrusted with making ourselves as characters. So because we knew each other well, we made it a collaborative effort that we would all make each other's characters. So like all of my friends collaborated to make me as a D&D character. And I collaborated with all of my other friends to make each of theirs, with that person not partaking. It was a fun exercise because it also kind of showed like what my friends think of me and what I think of them. And we did like one special thing for each of us, whether it was an item or a feat or a feature of some kind. And the one that they decided on for me, they could not decide my alignment. So they wrote down my alignment as truly confused. In that I count as all alignments simultaneously for the purpose of game mechanics. That's what they decided. There you go. I would like to say neutral good. But according to my friends, no. Yeah, I suppose even I have an evil side, a dark side. This is so nice. This is so easy. I should have been doing this for days. This is great. I can just let this run on its own. Oh, just do like one deep push on the event to get up to like high E20s or E30 favor, and then set everything to times 100, save a speed formation, and go! Just release the Modrons. Let it all automate. This is fantastic. So if you have the favor, and you have the event tokens, and you have the champions for it, and of course if you've unlocked Motron automation, I would truly suggest doing this. This is really good, because this also allows me to focus more on the chat to address your questions. Now, I do want to talk about Omen today, since we covered Omen last week in, like, fine granular detail, but I'd like to go over them, you know, again, for anyone who may not have been here last time, so maybe they just missed all the Omen discussion. But we also have, like, a week of thought and experience to harken back on now. So I want to hear, for getting into Omen talk, what do you guys think about Omen? Have you read Silesa's evaluation? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you score Omen out of 10? Bogart Ramshackle, where can you disable the game dialogue? Well, I'll show you. Press Escape to open your menu, go to Settings, and down here, go to Cinematic Speeds, head it to Instant, and skip Cinematics and Free Play. And then it should just skip everything. Garwar doesn't really have an opinion until getting decent gear. That makes sense. I've got decent gear on him, just not in the important places. Still want epics on slots 2, 3, and 4. How do you pronounce the event name? Agarin. That's actually a running gag in the dialogue for this adventure, if you haven't seen that. Always check out the dialogue each time you play an adventure for the first time. It's very fun. Aragon's Day. It's Agarin's Day, actually. And then further down, there'll be more of that. Acheron's Day. Agarin's Day. You sure? Acheron? Egg Heron. Thank you, Minsk. With delicious omelets for all. Good. Yeah. Really big shout out, love, and appreciation, and all my respect to the person or persons who comes up with all the dialogue in the game, because it is always such a treat, such a joy. The character of these characters really comes through in the dialogue, especially more so now than before. Like, for a long time, we had many of the event champions were just, like, silent. Like, they didn't have a voice, they didn't have any dialogue. But now it's been showing up for a while, and I love that. I love that we're finally getting, like, characterization of the event champions, especially the CNE original champions, because we have, like, nothing to pull on for them except for their gear flavor text, and now their feet flavor text, I suppose, as well. So, really glad to have characters like Narak or Stokey. They actually have lines now, and that's fantastic. Jarlaxle's lines are a treasure, I completely agree. Yes. Oh, Omen's spirits aren't flying around anymore. Are they going to disappear still? Or are they just going to hang out for the rest of this run? I mean, it's nice that we get a good view of them. They're kind of dancing. Look at them go. Just bobbing in place. I've never seen this before. It's amusing. Well, still no shinies or epics on Omen, but we've got at least 3 more runs. Just kidding, we have 6 more runs. How many are we going to be able to get done in a single stream? It's going very fast. This is what people requested last week, so I have delivered. Hope you're happy about it. Once it resets, it goes in the next run. I'm going to open up Omen's character sheet, and we're going to go through things. Dracula. Oh, welcome. The Dark Lord Dracula himself. Castlevania is a very good show. You're pretty new. Would I suggest spending all of your gems early on familiars before changing to chests? No. Get the first familiar, get the Mage Hand, especially because now it is cheaper than it used to be. It used to cost 1,000 gems, now it costs 250, I believe. That's another thing I need to update about the GVA. But I would not suggest getting all the familiars before you get all of your chests. Garwar, who is in the chat, Garwar and I actually collaborated on making a gems visual aid to just kind of help generally advise on gem spending procedures as you proceed through the game. It is meant for more of like an early to mid-game player to refer to. Once you know what you're doing, you don't need that visual aid anymore, so it's really only there for early on. Thank you, Jiao Jor, for doing the command for the Nightbot to post the Gems Visual Aid. Yeah. Yeah, just click that link that Nightbot posted about the Gems Visual Aid, and you can check that out and read through it. Now, remember, it needs to be updated. Oh, someone was asking about the gelatinous cube in the slideshow down below, why it had wings. Rip Cube, always in our slimy hearts. C&E created a, to scale, like, life-size gelatinous cube for conventions and just having it in the office, and it was incredible. It was amazing. And apparently it was completely destroyed during shipping at one point. This was devastating to our community, of course. So I have I've made it a permanent dedication to it in the form of the angelic gelatinous cube. The angelatinous cube? I never thought of that before. Angelatinous. I kind of like that. Remnants. As a newer player, Omen has been a staple of my parties over the Evergreens. Pretty decent at mostly blue gear stage of play. Hey, nice! What I really like about Omen is that he is such a different champion for the slot that he's in. Compare him against everyone else that he's in here with. We've got a DPS, basically everything. Well, she's a tank support, DPS, and debuffer. And the Naily, tank support, spurt, support, sure. But Omen, sure, he's a support champion, but he's a gold find champion as well. And he's the only one in his slot that does that. And I think that introduces some different combinations for gold farming, like for Azaka farming. Yeah, he's a cleric that doesn't heal, of course. But we have other oddities represented in the champions, like Puent. He's a barbarian, traditionally a very aggressive DPS character type, or at least some kind of tank, right? No, he's just a support in this game. He's a dedicated support barbarian. Despite being covered in spikes, he is not a DPS character. Hulk. What variants do you recommend finishing first for Mert? You just recently unlocked him. I would stick to anything that has a low stage goal and or allows for all champions. Like, there's no further restrictions beyond the Mert restrictions. None of them immediately come to mind, but if you've just unlocked Mert, especially if Mert's like your very first patron, do not assume that the early adventure variants encountered in each campaign are going to be easy for you. Chicken Run, or Arya Chicken, that's what it's called. Arya Chicken, despite being one of the very, very earliest variants, is not to be taken lightly. Do not assume that it is easy. It is not. Good. I'm glad people in the chat here already know. Yeah, anything that causes you to lose slots is a problem. Stay away from those at first. Get some influence so you can get perks before you consider giving those a shot. Alright, I said I was going to talk about Omen on the next reset, but you guys distracted me with questions. So we're going to do that on the next reset now. You haven't unlocked patrons? Can I show you what the screen shop is like? Yes, I can. As soon as this finishes resetting. And then Omen. I promise. Alright, here's a patron. Perks. Shop. You can get a time gate piece each week. There's skins, there's potions, Motron components, feats, potion of polish, limited to just like one only. And of course your weekly challenges. I haven't done any! Yeah, I've just been ignoring the challenges. I've had a very busy week. Alright, I want to talk about Omen, so pause on the questions for a second so I can get through this. Omen Dran built the organization called Acquisitions Incorporated to facilitate his quest to find his true sister. At least partly. Despite his unprecedented success in establishing the market for franchise adventuring across the Sword Coast and beyond, Omen's full measure eludes most people. He is known to be a worshipper of Timora, ruthless in matters of business, feckless in matters of love, and hopeless in games of chance. He is often accused of being a Master Lord of Waterdeep, though that would explain some things. Omen is a lawful neutral half-elf cleric of the support and gold roles. Last week, he was mistakenly also granted the healing role, and that has since been corrected. He no longer has that, so this is now correct. Support and gold champion of the Acquisitions Incorporated affiliation, which he shares with Jim and Morgaine. He also has mechanics that tie him to the Acquisitions Incorporated C-Team characters, Donar, Cathris, Rosie, Walnut. But he himself is a member of OG AC Inc. Yeah. Okay, so how he works. Let's not combine upgrades. His Shadow Council starts by just buffing anyone who's immediately around him. And it's good, it's a good buff. Champion of Tamora, then, every time Omen attacks, he blesses all adjacent champions to also become Champion of Tamora, increasing their damage by X% for 3 seconds. So then they become Champions of Tamora themselves, and then when they attack, those adjacent champions become Champions of Tamora. And it's like it spreads, and that's how his achievement works, how his personal achievement works. You want everyone in the formation to be a Champion of Tamora simultaneously for, like, what is it, 30 seconds? Basically put in everyone from AC Inc. and the C-Team, and Omen, of course, and just kind of let it go, and you will eventually get it. Keep a familiar on his ultimate. You will eventually just get it naturally. It just happened to me randomly when I was grinding out runs one day. Contractual Obligations. Every time a champion in the column in front of Omen attacks, they fulfill an obligation to Omen. When Omen reaches 100 obligations fulfilled, he grants a 100% gold fine buff for each champion in the column in front of him for 30 seconds. So this is his gold fine mechanic. Close Allies. So this is where his specialization actually comes in. And we can take a look at each of his specializations if we just use... We have 2 more chests to open? This is crazy. If we just use a potion of specialization, then we can take a look at his specialization. So we have Long Lost Friends, Close Allies, and Assassin. I've just been going with Close Allies because it's the simplest, but it does not give you the greatest bonus. The greatest bonus would come from Assassin. So Long Lost Friends causes it to apply to champions that are not adjacent to Omen. So it's like how the Mako's Dark Blessing buff works. Whereas Close Allies makes it anyone who is adjacent, like it just continues to apply to whoever stays in, because that's the default, and this just continues to apply that, but it further increases the bonus. And that's the same thing as like Celeste. I'm trying to use core characters for any new players out there to give you some idea to compare it against. And then Assassin applies to champions the farthest from Omen, and is increased by 25% for each champion in the formation. So this is how Cathris's buff works. Now I know Cathris isn't a core champion, but he's the only other one that comes to mind who buffs the person furthest away from him. I'm going to keep going with Close Allies. But which of those specializations you use is going to depend on what your formation looks like and what other champions you intend on using. It's one of those that you need to think about ahead of time in your run. Like, am I going to use Omen for this adventure? Yes, okay. What is my formation shape? What are my restrictions? What other champions do I intend on using? Where am I placing Omen? You need to consider all of these things for the purpose of selecting a specialization. Yeah, as Arui says, Omen specialization is just a bunch of other champions rolled into one. Yeah. Thully, dumb question. No such thing. How are you revealing the chest contents without clicking each one? Well, I'll show you. Spacebar. There you go. Spacebar will also then click done for you. Just hammer your spacebar and you can spam through chests lightning fast. Look, I'll do some gold chest right now. You can also hold it down, which will go slightly slower, and then after a few seconds, we'll go to the next chest. Next chest. And so on, but spamming it a little bit faster. Depends on what you want to do. You can also, of course, just open multiple at a time. I want to save 60. So I'm going to open 26. There we go. And I could have used spacebar to flip those cards over as well. I just didn't feel like doing it. So I hope that helps. Any more questions? Is it true you get better RNG if you open chest 1 by 1 while only using the mouse button? No. No. That is not true, Barney. Your RNG doesn't change based on your chest opening practices. Just open chest, you're fine. Don't believe rumors that you hear about that. If that was true, I would know about it by now. Jellicle, Birdsong and Averin have similar buffs. Whose is better? And is this buff you serve bull by Archon? Averin's buff is the strongest buff in the entire game, bar none. Now other champions can contribute more due to like debuffing, but as far as just buffs go, Averin wins every time. I don't know if Archon can usurp it. The mirror images, I mean. Archon can usurp Birdsong's buff. But even then, like, Archon usurping Birdsong's buff is not going to be stronger than Averin just buffing Archon directly, or buffing anyone for that matter. Just Averin every time. Bogart Ramshackle, do I think the next Evergreen champ will be difficult to obtain? Yes! If so, how so? How will the adventure be? Dragonbait's hard to get, and before that, Azako's hard to get. And it's just my hope that they keep this trend going forward, and they make the next Evergreen champion very difficult to unlock as well. I'll be disappointed if they don't. It took me 3 months to finally unlock Azaka. From the day that she was released, it took me 3 months to work up to the point where I could unlock Azaka. It was that difficult back then. I think Dragonbait, I got him inside of 2 weeks of being put into the game. His variant on its own is fine, really. It's when you have to do his variant for patrons. That's a nightmare. That is scary. Doing Soriel's Resolve with patrons. Oh, that is rough. I still don't think I've done it for Strahd. I've done it for Merton Vajra, but not for Strahd. I've got 100% done on Merton Vajra. Alright, that's yet another rundown. Is anyone keeping count of how many runs we've done for Omen now? In just one stream? We're just firing through these, and it feels great. I remember that tip about times 100 for Havilar, so that Havi just has her imps out. I believe the imps that she will carry into the next adventure will be whichever one she ended with on the previous adventure. So you want to make sure that she has the correct imp out. And this is the correct one out. It's the first one in the rotation. That's the one you want. Again, I don't think it matters for this adventure, because I don't think we fight any fiends in here. Or if we do, I haven't noticed. But it certainly does matter for other things. Zaire, yeah, earlier I showed off how you can save yourself a single left click per run in regards to Havilar. And just grinding out runs like this. Home, do I have any tips to farm influence? Oh yeah, for sure. Get Azaka. Number 1 tip for farming... Oh, you said influence, not favor. You can't actually farm influence. You can't actually farm influence. There's just like a set amount of influence available in the game that's based on all of the patron variants that you are allowed to play through. But if you do mean favor, then yeah, just get Azaka. Learn about Azaka farming once you have her. Prioritize getting Azaka, and then your gold farming, favor farming woes are done. Okay, you did mean favor. Cool. Cool. Yeah, just look up guys on how to get Azaka. She's easy to get these days. Used to be a huge challenge, the biggest challenge in the game once upon a time. No longer. Pretty easy. You get her halfway through the Tomb of Annihilation campaign, or like 2/3 through it. Still, it's easy to get to. You need like E15 favor in Tomb of Annihilation to get her. You need like what, E94 strike damage, I think that's the number that you need to be able to hit in order to kill the boss at the stage goal for unlocking her. Gar says he's going to try to 40-stack Kroll and Azaka farm on this Friday's GG2E. Good luck. I hope you're willing to use some speed potions, since you'll have to, I presume, reset the attempt by just like going backstage and going forward again maybe 1,000 times until it finally happens. What? You guys saw that, right? My game's haunted. Okay. Well, that was weird. That's a new one. Has anyone else seen that in their games? Yeah, we took a quick jaunt to the plane of everlasting crows, the plane of elemental corvids. Oh, that was great. I love encountering fresh new bugs on this stream. That one's wild. I've seen some graphical glitches before, but nothing like that. That was great. Still no new epics. I see some spoilers being posted in the chat right now. I can't comment on spoilers. Come on. Come on. But if you are interested in that sort of thing, we do have a channel for it, where it is contained on the Discord. Well of Spoilers. Love the name. Well of Spoilers. And that is, again, !Discord, if you're looking for a fresh, fun community to join full of friendly people. Everlasting Crows. We're in Jaheira Zorbu farm variant now. Good one, RV. Yeah. Oh man, that was a good day. I never bothered farming Zorbu kills until that variant came out, and then I decided, ah yes, this I shall play for a week straight. My Zorbu got up to like E7 beast kills from that variant. It's fantastic. That was a huge jump in damage for my Zorbu. Hey, Mutant Die! Thank you for subscribing to the C&E Games Twitch channel. Thank you for supporting our channel and all the great shows that we have here. Appreciate it. Did you guys know that there's new challenges available? There's always new challenges available. T. Roberts, 1998, a very good year. Could you explain Azaka farming? Yes. And how that assists in favor farming? Yes. And what's the best adventure to do so on, or formation tips? Probably. Okay, can I explain Azaka farming? It is essentially hiring a were-tiger mercenary lady to bully monsters into giving you their lunch money for hours. That's it in a nutshell. And she has a bunch of her friends show up to help inspire her to bully them even harder. That summarizes it outside of game mechanics. Now, how that assists in favor farming is because essentially you stack as many gold find increasing abilities in the game at once as you possibly can. And then you make sure that Azaka is in her Resist the Curse specialization, which enables her to summon tigers that will hit enemies and cause them to drop gold, even if it doesn't kill them. Do you see where this is going? So you get to a boss stage, you kill everything except for one non-boss enemy, you stack as many possible buffs and debuffs for increasing gold find, just as many as you possibly can. You get a Zaka on the field, summon tigers, and then let it rain. Money, 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 money. Tons of money, tons of favor. That's Azaka farming. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Shootsy. I hope this stream was able to help you, to advise you in some ways. And what I'm showing right now, I would not call it like peak performance as far as a speed team goes, but it's close. It's up there. I'd want a few more 100 item levels on like Melf and Sentry to really make this crazy. But otherwise, I think this is pretty optimal for just quickly running through event runs, event-free plays. Oh, you're new! Great! Well, welcome to Idle Champions. Join the Discord. Have a good time. And just like that, we are out of tokens again. So we've done at least 10 runs now. I'll just keep feeding it contracts. Okay, we'll get 2 more runs out of this now. Come on. Still no epics. We're not getting a single epic on this? Ugh. You're killing me, Omen. You're killing my contract pile. Oh, thank you, Olasa. That's very nice of you to say. Fortunate to have my 2 guiding hands. Oh. Well, one hand can guide you. The other hand's busy holding a mug of tea. I'm out. It's sad. I'm gonna have to get more after the show. I love tea. How do I get so many contract piles? Just grind. Grind. Get as many gems and gold chests as you possibly can, because gold chests contain bounty contracts. Also supply chests always contain consumables, so you can get some good bounty contracts from that. What does Motron do if you don't have enough tokens to start another event run? Oh, good question. We can probably find out. If we just let this run out, then it should hopefully tell us. I have not seen that yet, so we can learn together. Skimority asked, what is the max level on items? So, as far as I'm aware, cooldown reduction items have a maximum level, but everything else doesn't. That being said, there is a highest achievement for item level, which is 5,000. You want item level 5,000 on something to get the final item level achievement or milestone. It's called differently depending on what platform you're playing on. Either way, you could think of this as being your level cap for items if you want, but the truth is that there really isn't one, just for cooldown reduction items. Hope that helps. I'm talking about Omen some more. I did actually try Omen in that run that I did earlier this morning. I put him in my Azaka farming formation in place of... it was either Brunor or Drizzt. I think it was Brunor. I think I replaced Brunor with him. And it was an improvement. Definitely an improvement. He's probably going to make it into all of my gold farming formations from now on, I think. Until someone else replaces him. But for now, yeah, he's good. Dan and Zian. Is it worth maxing favor during events or just getting to the chest at 50 on free plays? Depends. It depends on what you prioritize. I try to get to E30 favor minimum in an event nowadays. If I can get higher than that, great. I think the highest I've ever done is 36 or 37. But once I am able to get up to that high favor, then I'm not going to see many more increases. Like once your gains in an event are negligible, even if you absolutely push as hard as you can, then I wouldn't bother farming favor in that event anymore. I would just switch to going through stage 50 for free plays to get your chests and just kind of relax. Lemdul, how's your game playing so fast? A few reasons. Number one, now I've got the Hamilton 10 Dual Commandments playing in my head. Number one, I have every speed champion currently in the game out on the field. Xander doesn't count. He's a liar. Number two, I have very good gear where it matters on those speed champions. Some of them, their gear actually matters. Well, I don't have Briv out, but that's because he doesn't have any stacks built up, so we're not using him. So like my Melf has a very good speed item, my Sentry has a very good speed item, and I've got a Golden Epic on Melf's speed item, and I've got Deacon's Feet that also increases his speed mechanic. I've got their specializations set for speed and all of that, and then on top of that, I have my automation, my Motron automation is automatically using a small and medium potion of speed for me. What is Narak providing in this formation? A cool spear! Okay? That's it. That's all he's offering in this formation currently. Yes, I have Melf Speed Feet as well. I got really lucky. I think I got Melf Speed Feet during his release week, so that was great. Yes. Yeah, Narak is wielding a Naginata. I know, I only have one run left. That's because we're going to let it run out of tokens. Someone was asking what happens with Motron automation if you have it set to automate and you don't have enough tokens to afford another run. So we're going to let that occur to see what happens. No, it's a Naginata. It says so. Right there. Havilar has a glaive, however. It just stays on the run until you have enough tokens or you stop it. Okay. Cool. I still want to see it for myself. Oh, some other questions above. Hey, if I ever missed your question, it's nothing personal, it's just there's a lot to go through. Please feel free to just ask again. And hopefully I'll catch it the second time, or third, or fourth. Thully asks, is that the final gear achievement, 5k? Yes, that is the last one. It's for a 5%. There is no item level achievements past that one. Reaver, is the cooldown reduction items capped due to diminishing returns or an actual program level cap? It's an actual program level cap. Like, once you reach that cap, you will stop getting gear in chest for that item slot. That gear will stop appearing. And I think your blacksmithing contracts won't land on those items anymore. So it's a good thing if you reach the cap. It's a bad thing for shinies. Because you can have what happens to a lot of people, which is that you'll get a natural shiny that will land on one of those items after they've already reached their level cap, which is a complete waste. It gives you nothing. If you get it before it reaches level cap, that's a great thing. Is there native support for PC, Steam controller? I actually don't know. You can play with a controller. I don't know if it specifically works with Steam controller. I don't think I know anyone who plays the game with Steam controller. But if you just go into your main menu, and you're playing on Steam, and you go down to, Gamepad UI mode, check this box and it'll prompt you to restart the game with a controller plugged in, and if you do so, then you'll switch to using the console UI, which is very fancy and snappy looking. I just prefer the classic UI because that's what I've spent thousands of hours on, so it's certainly what I'm more used to. Enodetta bought Korth's GE last weekend. Seems to be capped. Can I verify? I cannot verify. So I'm sorry if you reached a cap with that. I cannot verify. I do not know. I can take a look at my Korth if you'd like. Which one was it for? None of mine are that high anyway. So I wish I could help with that one. Silver Griffin, what happens when Melf has his speed percents over 100%? I don't know. I haven't reached that. Well, that's untrue. I did reach that during the first iteration of Melf's Speedy Speed Weekend, when Melf decided to go Super Saiyan. And everyone was completing stages in like a single second. Yes, it did appear to have it trigger multiple times effectively when it got over 100%. Like, I think my MILF was going over 1,000% on something. Like, enemies were dropping 10 quest items at a time. It was ridiculous. It was going way too fast. They had to turn all that off because the game was going so fast that it was causing problems. Like, people's auto progress was being switched off. Okay, so here should be the last reset that we can afford. So at the end of this run, we should actually know for sure what happens. What's the final area achievement? Avonid, it is 1,000. Yeah, you ultimately want to get to 1,000, which I have yet to do. My current goal is 900. I've made it to 849 once. 900 is the next one. Judge your Mars with feet and spec and GE. You should have above 200%, correct? Maybe? Let's take a look. What does mine currently say? Oh yeah, it is. 264.9%. Okay. I didn't even realize that. Really? I'm ahead of you now, Garwar? That's surprising. I thought for sure you were ahead of me. Only slightly, but still. I've been trying to keep track of that. I have not made use of any exploits to just go ahead and get the stage 1000 cleared, done, and out of the way. I'm trying to get it, like, legitimately, you know? Once in a blue moon, or sometimes more often than once in a blue moon, there'll be these game-breaking exploits that people will take advantage of to just, like, get infinite gold, infinite damage, go up past stage 1000 or whatever. I don't want to do that. It helps that I have just happened to be busy every time one of those has occurred, so I haven't even had the chance to be tempted by it. Yeah, I guess we sort of have, like, maybe a subtle or not so subtle friendly rivalry, me and Garwar. Yeah. I used to have a fun rivalry with Jadisera. I don't know if Jad's in the chat right now, but eventually Jad just got, like, way ahead of me and I have not been able to catch back up. But it's fun. Like, I'm glad that this is a single-player game and not a truly multiplayer competitive game. But it is a little fun to, like, have friendly rivalries going. Cheer each other on, you know? Home, can I quickly tell which champions do what? All of them? All 66 champions? I could try. That'll take the whole stream. Just the ones I have in the formation. Okay, sure, that's fine. Yeah, 10 is better. Oh, and let me handle this question from Garwar real quick, and then I'll get right back to your request, Holm. Garwar says, Mars, people asked a couple times about your call on Motron Chess and Battle of Poverty. Okay, so those of you who know me in the community, you may know that I came up with this idea of a gearless challenge that's also called Vow of Poverty. I made this huge whole post on Reddit about it. There's a long Imgur album that shows my proof of, like, doing an account that has no chests opened at all, no gear on any characters, no potions ever used, no consumables, plus nothing, absolutely nothing. Garwar took that a step further after I unlocked Azaka. He made a fresh account to do Gearless, to do Vow of Poverty, and is trying to get all the way up through unlocking Dragonbait, which is a much loftier goal, and I do wish him the best of luck. It's very exciting. Yeah, I'm really glad that someone else picked up the torch. But yeah, with the advent of Motron automation and multi-party mode, apparently this question's come up on his shows about what's my judgment call, what's my ruling on Motron chess and Motron automation and all the Motron, like, components, the pipe game and all that. And I think what I decided on is that you may unlock Motron automation by completing the split the party game. And hey, look at this, we've gone past stage 50, it's just as Garwar said. Yeah, we went past our reset and now we don't have enough tokens. But what happens if we suddenly have enough tokens? It's gonna reset? Yep, it did. Okay, cool. So there you have it. And those of you who are wondering what happens if you don't have enough tokens to reset, that's what happens. It just keeps going. It just doesn't reset because it can't afford to. But now it can, so it will. Great. Anyway. my judgment on Motron chests, Motron components, Motron automation for the purpose of Val Poverty / Gearless, whatever you want to call it. You may unlock Motron automation by completing Split the Party, and there, on your first core, you have starting components, right? So before opening any chest, you have like some initial components. You are allowed to use those, but you may not open any chests, any Motron component chests. So those are the only pieces that you'll ever have, are the ones that you start with by unlocking your first core. So I hope that definitively brings those questions to a halt. Yeah, automation. Like, you have enough components to start your automation. See, Vow of Poverty is meant to be a challenge, but I don't want people to miss out on automation, just because that's a quality of life upgrade of significant value. So please, by all means, do that. You know, we haven't talked about Jim at all, despite him being a returning character for this event. Jim is cool. He was actually my top DPS champion when I did Gearless for most of that account, for most of that run. Ultimately, I ended up using Minsk as my DPS for the actual Azaka unlock run, but Jim was great for like 80% of that entire challenge. I used Jim as my primary DPS. He is Krull's best friend, if you don't know that. Krull has a habit of leaving one enemy alive, and Jim can just turn it into a chicken. Yes, Holmes question. Thank you, Master XM1990. Thank you. So, Holmes, you wanted me to explain each of the characters' functions in my current formation. Sure. So Sentry's a tank, I have her at the front. Doesn't really matter because I'm killing everything with click damage. It doesn't really matter who I have at the front. But if this was a traditional formation, and I wasn't just killing everything with my familiars, then I would want a tank at the front. And Sentry is not only a tank character, but she is a speed character, and that is due to her Echo Resolution effect. Echo accompanies Sentry in the formation. Echo has multiple effects based on whether Sentry wasn't, currently is, or was ever under attack in the current area. Resolution, if Sentry has not been attacked in the highest unlocked area, there is a, for me, 74% chance that quest requirements in the next area are reduced by 30%. So she has a 74% chance of making the next stage go 30% faster. That's big. That matters. So, yeah, Sentry, fantastic. I always have Sentry out in my speed formations. The next speed champion to discuss here, just going like backwards from the front, would be Deacon. Deacon's confidence in the boss. Whenever Deacon has fewer than 6 stacks of Story of Doom, his main mechanic, the speed of enemies spawning is increased by, for me, 280%, which is enormous. His Story of Doom is just that, like, the longer enemies go without getting killed, the more of a buff he will grant champions. So, as long as you are killing things, he has fewer stacks of his Story of Doom. And as long as he has fewer than 6 stacks, enemies will spawn faster. And if enemies are spawning faster, that means you're killing them faster, so you're progressing through stages faster. Make sense? Deacon's pretty simple. You want to get Deacon, and you want to get his overconfidence feat, which increases the effect of that speed mechanic. Next up would be Shandy. Shandy has the dash ability, which by default is a 25% increase to the game speed whenever the formation hasn't been under attack for 60 seconds, but she has a specialization that increases this by another 25% to a total of 50%, so go fast. Sure, Aruhi, I will also point out which ones are speed related, or for gear. Are gear related for speed. So Sentry, you want your slot 3 on Sentry to be as high level as possible, because this is her Redshift ability, and Redshift, where is it? is simple. It just increases the chance of Echo Resolution triggering. Again, Echo Resolution is her speed mechanic. So the higher your redshift item level, slot 3 on Sentry, the more often Echo Resolution will trigger, which is her speed mechanic, so that's what you want. Deacon doesn't matter for gear as far as speed is concerned. Shandy doesn't matter for gear as far as speed is concerned. But Melf does. Melf is the next speed champion that I'll go over here. Melf has Melf's Speedy Supplement. Melf provides a random speed up buff. The buff provided changes after every 50th area and draws from these 3 possibilities. They're determined at random. He'll either have a chance to spawn additional enemies, like Deacon, or he has a chance of enemy spawn speed increasing. I'm sorry, that's not like Deacon. The middle one is like Deacon. The first one is like Minsk, who I don't have out currently, because I just wanted to show off Jim. Minsk is kind of a speed champion. It's negligible, but if you're doing a lot of runs, I guess it matters. Anyway, the third possibility for Melf is a chance of increased quest drops, which is also how Havilar works. We'll get to her in a second. But Melf slot 4 matters for this. That is an item that directly correlates to how his speed mechanic functions. So you want to get Epic, Golden Epic, Shiny, item level just as high as you can. You want Melf slot 4 to be a very strong item. You also want to get his Rush Plan's Feet to further increase the effect of his Speedy Supplement speed mechanic ability. The next one to go over would be Havilar. Havilar, her speed mechanic is not associated with gear whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about that for her. But for her, it's very simple. She has this thing where she summons imps, okay? And there's 3 different imps that she can summon that kind of go in rotation, and they always come with a second imp that is always the same imp each time. Once you have the imp summoned, then she will switch to using them as like bombs, like a heroic sacrifice it's called. The imp just goes out there and explodes and things get hurt, but then she can summon the next imp in the rotation once that comes off of cooldown. Okay, fine. But the one that you want for her, for speed, is just the very first imp that it summons. The first one up in the rotation is Dembo, because under Fiendish Resolve, when any fiend is in the area, Havilar focuses less on her own attacks and more on buffing the party. Her base attack cooldown is doubled, but the effect of Leadership Summon is increased 100%. Doesn't matter for speed, but Dembo's mechanic matters for speed. As long as Dembo's on the field, when there's fiends on the field, then Dembo's Fiendish Resolve will trigger, which is that fiend enemies drop 2 quest items at once or count for 2 kills at once. This is clearly going to be a huge increase to your speed as long as there are fiends that you are fighting. This is like demons and devils and, you know, the big, scary, nasty things from hell. Or the Shadowfell or whatever. So I guess those could also just be Fae or whatever. Anyway, that's Havilar and Melf. I guess the other one to go over would be Minsk. Minsk is very simple. You don't even need to get to a specialization, it doesn't matter. At level 50, so you unlock him and then at level 50 you get Boastful. Whenever a non-boss enemy wave spawns, there's a 10% chance of an extra enemy spawning and a 2% chance of 2 extra enemies spawning. So again, just like Deacon, like the more things spawning or faster things are spawning, the faster you can kill things and thus the faster you get through adventures. It's pretty straightforward. So Minsk, negligible, but I mean, it matters. Especially if you're just doing many runs like I'm doing right now. And then finally, of course, is use speed potions. The other characters in here don't matter for speed, except insofar as their basic attacks are going to chew through things, and ultimates as well, if they're multi-hit ultimates, will chew through things that have segmented health. So, Celeste, her ultimate, lots and lots of hits, great for segmented health obstacles like those barricades that we just saw. Hitch, not just his ultimate, but also just his basic attacks. Briv I did not talk about. He's not in my formation currently, but I can throw Briv in here, or just take a look at him quick. So Briv is another speed tank champion, like Sentry. But Briv is special. We'll take a look at specialization in a second. Briv is special in that, first, he just has his steel bones, okay? As you play with Briv at the front, he will come under attack, and he will build steel bone stacks, which will increase the amount of buff that he gives everyone behind him, okay? When you complete the run, all of his accumulated steel bone stacks will convert to sprint stacks for unnatural haste, and this is his speed mechanic, which gives him a chance of just skipping the next area entirely. This can be an increased chance and use fewer stacks if you take his leftmost spec, his Metalborn specialization. Okay, so if you're going for speed and you want to work with Briv, then you basically want to build up Briv's tanking stacks. Steel Bones, that's it. You want to build up his Steel Bones in a run prior to your speed run, and then you want to reset and go into whatever run that you actually wanted him to skip things in. Some people use that to their advantage for doing things like skipping very difficult bosses in certain variants, especially Patron variants. I don't do that. Some people do. But Briv's is also associated with item level, so you want slot 4 for Briv to be like as good as possible. Yeah, it is possible for Briv to skip multiple stages if you can get his like his chance to skip stages up high enough. Honestly, I don't use Briv that much because he's like a 2-step speed champion, and typically whenever I'm in a speed situation, it's just me looping through runs over and over and over, so I don't often use Briv. I do use Briv like as a proper tank though. I like using Briv. If I'm in a situation where I'm forced to use multiple tanks, and I'm already using Turiel, or I just can't use Turiel, then it's typically going to be, oh, guaranteed epic now. Yay! What do we got? Pauldron! What's up? Excellent, that's a good one. Cool, so that is 2 epics left for Omen for me. Yeah, he's also an incredible healer. You can get his healing to be over 100% with the right setup. It's amazing. Catch you later, Jellicle. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the code should be working now. It wasn't working before, and that's on me, actually. It was funny because earlier I said, it's not my fault, and it turned out to actually be my fault. Erica came in here and explained that I put the wrong expiration on this code. I set it up to begin and expire, like, the same day, same time. So, that's my bad. I apologize. So scatterbrained today. I would like to open some of my silver chests, because I would like to use my shiny button today. I saved up 1,000 chests for you guys. Just like last week. I mean, if I can get 1,000 chests per week, that's doing pretty good, huh? At the very least, this is helping me get item levels. Just inching my way forward toward that lofty 5,000 item levels goal. I'm not even halfway there. I'm like 30% there? Something like that. Hey! We got a shiny! Woo! Fantastic. That's 1. Can we keep it going? Yeah, Dragon Base got a shiny sword now. Huzzah! That's why I always wait to do this on stream. How do you get 1k chests a week? Grinding Mad Wizard on loop forever. Thank you, Motron Automation, for making that much easier to do now. 2 shinies out of 1,000. Okay, now it calls for the button.
Oh man, the streamer button broke again.
Thanks, Sean. Ah! For Ashara. Cool. Shiny orb. What's my Mad Wizard formation? All speed champions, and then multi-hit champions, plus those with like just fast attack speed, or multi-hit ultimates. It doesn't matter so much for them as much as just the speed champions. That's the most important thing. At this point, it's not too difficult to get 1,000 silver chests in a week, plus like 100 gold chests maybe. But you do have to have like every speed champion, and you need to be playing like obsessively. Come on, can I get one more? I'm being greedy now. Did we get one last week? I think we got 1 last week. 2 this week, though. That's great. the chance is 1 in 1,000, so getting 2 out of 1,000 silver chests is good. It's literally twice as good as the average. My reset area is either stage 30 or stage 330, depending on my mood. Alright, that's it. And there's no pity timer on shinies either. What was Ashara's orb for? I don't remember. Oh, for her take flight ability. Cool. Okay, so that one actually matters. Like, I really wouldn't care about the ultimate that much, but I do care about that one. Great. And Dragon Bait. What about you, buddy? What's your sword? Okay, it's for his ultimate attack, but it's a shiny Holy Avenger. Oh, that just feels good. That's cool. Oh, you're very welcome home. How often do I stream? Once a week on Wednesdays. Day and time might be changing. Maybe. We'll see. But my show, Mars Guiding Hand, airs once a week. However, there are other shows on this channel hosted by different people. Okay? I go over it in my outro blurb at the end of each of my shows. But yeah, we have a bunch of other shows. We have the official C&E stream on Thursdays. We have GG2E, Garwar's Guide to Everything, hosted by Garwar, our friendly neighborhood Garwar, who is also in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but he's a fun guy. He streams on Fridays. He's better at the game than me. More knowledgeable. I would argue that I have more passion. Anyway. And then on Tuesdays, there's Bardic Inspiration, which is a music show. Oh, and how could I forget Griddle Champions, also on Fridays, before Gar goes on. Yeah, I'm Wednesday every week, although that's subject to change. I'm going through some, like, life rescheduling right now, so we'll see how it pans out. But the show will continue, I hope. Mrs. Zaman 21. What should be your first time gate you open? Well, congrats on your first time gate. Averin or Kroll or a speed champion of your choice. I would probably recommend Deacon or Sentry or Shandy if you're going to go with a speed champion. But hopefully that narrows it down to like 5 choices for you. You'll see what other people answer in the chat now, I'm sure, weighing in. I'm already seeing someone say, Kroll! Buddy VV, do attributes contribute in any way? I'm assuming you mean the ability scores, like Deacon's A Strength, 14 Dex, 15 Con, etc. I'm assuming that you mean this, buddy. And yes, they matter. They do not directly contribute. Instead, there are other mechanics in the game that look at the ability scores on your champions to determine if the mechanics apply to that champion or not. For example, there are variants that say, you're not allowed to use champions that have, like, a charisma below 14. Ah, shucks, I only have champions with a charisma below 14. Guess I'm gonna have to go and unlock some champions that have a low charisma. Or don't, or whatever. And then there's, like, buffs that also matter. Like, Hitch wants your characters to have high charisma. Krond wants your characters to have high strength. Vajra, the Patron, only allows you to use champions whose constitution score is 14 or higher. I'm gonna get some more omen chests, please, and thank you. Good. So the ability scores matter. They just maybe don't matter in the way that you would think. It's not like the higher you make strength go on your DPS character, the more damage they will deal with their melee attacks. That's not how it works. That's how it works in like traditional Dungeons & Dragons. That's not how it works in this game. It matters for referencing other mechanics to determine whether those other mechanics apply to the champion or not. Sometimes it can even be beneficial to have your scores be low. There's kind of some strategy to that. It matters for different places. Oh, somebody asked what the shiny button actually says. It's a voice clip of Sean that he sent me on request. saying, "Aw man, the streamer button broke again." So, if that doesn't come through very clearly, blame Sean. Also, blame the recording quality of the button. It's not a very good button, but it works. It's cute. Cheap. You're very welcome. Aruhi asks for me to go over Xander quickly and explain why he's such a great speed champion. I refuse. Xander basically has a speed mechanic that requires him to attack things and miss them, and then have something else kill them. So that requires that the enemy be alive long enough to survive being clicked to death, which that means you're going slow. So it's like he's a backup plan. Like, his speed mechanic only matters if you're already playing suboptimally and going slow. So it's not a real speed mechanic. Did I DIY the button? Yes, I did. I had some help with a friend who had a like a Cricut machine. I sent her the PNG file for Iris, the Beholder mascot of the game, and she had it cut out on her Cricut machine so that I could put it on this black button. And then I put a googly eye on it, so that it doesn't really come through the camera, but it has a googly eye that shakes around. It's cute. I think it could be pronounced Crycut. It's some brand name cutting printer thing. I've never used one. I just know people that use it. I know there's new challenges. Stop telling me that. For me, Xander is an extra body on the field when I can't put anyone else out. Or boosts Charlaxle's gold find if I have nothing better to do. Dogs 2018. Is that like political campaign? Vote Dogs 2018. I would. Is there a way to tell which is best for Minsk's choice for more DPS on, say, humanoids or beings, etc.? Yeah, so you're just going to want to pay attention to what type of enemies are most prevalent in the adventure that you're on, or at least what type of enemy is at or close to your wall for the adventure that you're on. So this can take a little, like, research. There are resources out there that people have put together that can just tell you what kind of enemies that you will face on each adventure, even down to like the granular detail of like per stage. And then you can make the decision for yourself which one you would want to specialize in. It's important to acknowledge that Minsk cannot specialize in every enemy type, only certain ones. So let's say you're fighting dragons. Minsk doesn't specialize in fighting dragons, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. It's most often going to be humanoids or undead. Joshua, hello, I have noticed you. As requested. Good to see you. Kroll, Whole Mask, how is Kroll better than Shandy? Kroll is busted. Kroll spreads a plague to enemies that does ridiculous multiplicative stacking damage enhancing. And yeah, it's so far and above like anything else that hardly anything else matters. It's kind of difficult to explain. It just does more. Kroll just does more. If you want speed, you go Shandy. If you want to push, you go with Kroll. For that slot, I mean. Unfortunately, everyone else in the slot doesn't really matter right now. As far as playing optimally goes, I say all of this advice with a huge disclaimer. If I could even have a gigantic disclaimer that scrolls across the entire screen of this overlay throughout the entire show, it is this. Whatever advice that I give about the game, take it with a grain of salt, in that ultimately the most optimal way to play the game is whatever is optimizing your amount of fun. Do you like using certain champions? Use those champions, regardless of what anyone tells you, including myself. Okay? Games are meant to be fun. Optimize for fun. Whatever's fun to you. Sometimes fun for me is running a full Companions of the Hall formation, even though they are not considered optimal. They're good, they're just not optimal. But sometimes I want to push as high as I can to see if I can reach that stage 900 goal or not yet. Spoilers, I can't. But I'm going to try. And to do that, I knew I need to pay attention to the meta, what is actually optimal. What DPS should I use, what buffs and debuffs and tanks should I use, shields, heals, gold vine, whatever. I can't do anything, dogs! I can't do anything about Stokey. I'm not C&E. I'm a player like you who is utterly obsessed with this game and plays it all the time. So they gave me a show to play it on. But I would also love for Stokey to be buffed. She used to be worse, much worse. But she was buffed significantly, and honestly, I think she's pretty good. In my opinion. She doesn't often have a place in my formations because I have other characters who are better than her. But I still wouldn't say that she's bad. In my, what I would say, expert opinion. Alright, we only have a few minutes left in this week's show, so any more questions you got, come on, just pile them in. Bury me beneath questions. I'm ready. I'm ready. One crazy Cuban. You already have Kroll's. You already have Kroll because you played a little during his event. Good. You just came back this week. Welcome back. And you're moving through the adventures little by little. Okay. Should your first time gate then be Deacon or Sentry? Honestly, again, it depends. Like, do you want to grind gems and chests and stuff more quickly? Or do you want to get a character that's going to enable you to push really far? What is your priority? Because that's going to determine the advice that I give you. If you want to grind more efficiently, get a speed champion, which between Deacon or Sentry, honestly I'd say Deacon, just because Deacon's slot 1, and Sentry would be like right after that. It's like because Deacon is slot 1, you can have him out on the field like as early as stage 1, right? So you can get his speed mechanic going earlier than you can Sentries. Once you have absurd astronomical amounts of favor, it doesn't matter. You just put everyone out in the field, immediately get their specializations and whatever. But if you're early in, then the bench seat matters. Deacon is seat 1, Sentry is seat 4, so yeah, go Deacon. And Deacon doesn't need gear. Sentry needs gear, Deacon doesn't need gear. That's a great point, Yulita. Am I out of tea? Yes, and it breaks my heart. But I have water, stay hydrated. Baby League, who's my personal favorite champion? It's Frida. I love Frida. She is so cool. I talk about this on almost every episode. It is because she is exactly the kind of character that I would make for a D&D character. She has dark powers, but she's a good guy. She's a hero character. She looks cool. She's a tiefling. I love tieflings. Humans, tieflings, elves. Especially the sun elves. I love sun elves. I certainly have bias about characters that I really enjoy. Is Kroll and Avon really that good? Yes! Yes! There are spreadsheets to prove this, and it's bonkers how good they are compared to other characters. Yes, they are really that good, and they shouldn't be, but they are. There you have it. I'm going to stick to Idle Champions questions there, Nubby. But you still need champions in 2, 10, 11, 12. I assume you mean like for the split the party adventure for you to get Motron Animation, right? Who will be useful from next month's event? 2, 10, 11, and 12? I don't remember who's in next month's event for specific slots. But just champions in general that I might recommend. For slot 2? Honestly, anyone but Kreidel. Anyone but Kreidel is good for slot 2. For slot 10, Wolfgar. Yeah, so Wolfgar is Bright Swords, and that's the next one, I think. Turiel. Oh, you didn't say slot 1, but Turiel, yeah, people are saying in the chat. Turiel, for slot 1. Turiel is great. I use Turiel all the time. Turiel cuts down multi-tank formations by -1 tank, basically, if you use him correctly. So it's really good. 11? Averin. And if not Averin, Nova or Warden. For 12, Zorbu, Azaka, Melf. Wouldn't suggest Neris. Doesn't really matter for Neris. Yeah, I get it, Gar. Yeah, I picked up what people are throwing down, that next event is Wolfgar and Turiel. And whoever comes with them. Ooh! Should be good. Excited for it. I'll have to hold on to some of my contracts to do that. Oh, speaking of which, contracts. More! I have so many blacksmithing contracts to use now. That's at least going to push my Omen to item level 50+, I hope. Yeah, Turiel's amazing for Avernus, for sure. Let's open the rest of these Omen chests before I have to leave. See if we get anything good. I hope. Probably not, but maybe. Come on. Ah! Hey, at least it's item levels. And we can do 1 gold chest. Alright, and that's it. That's it for chests. This time. Next time on Mars Guiding Hand. More chests, probably. Maybe. Arabushi, we're ever gonna get Or the Stick characters? Man, I hope. I started reading Or the Stick in middle school, and I kept going for like 10 years reading that. I only stopped reading it like 2 years ago. Something like that. I don't remember the exact timeline, but yeah, I was obsessed with Or the Stick. That'd be great. I want Or the Stick. I want Adventure Zone. I think more than anything, I want Adventure Zone. And for my ego, I want myself in the game. Yeah. Who is going to come out with them? Oh! I know because spoilers, but I won't say. But there are places to look if you want to know. Dogs, you're very welcome for the stream. Thank you for joining us. I hope to see you again next time, and to see you on the other Idle Champion streams, because they are just as good for different reasons. And of course, they are also better, like Griddle Champions. This is our best show on this channel. Love it. Making pancakes, making idle pancakes. I love seeing all the other Taz fans out there. Woo! Yeah, that'd be great. Would love that. Still going on Taz. Alright, I've got to sign out, sign off, get along, go on, and mosey on down that old lonely trail. But I will do my outro. So thank you for joining me for this episode of Mars Guiding Hand. It's been a true pleasure. I hope to see you all again next week. It's a pleasure meeting those of you who are new and seeing all my old friends return, of course. Make sure to tune to the official C&E stream of Idle Champions tomorrow. Griddle Champions and Garwar's Guide to Everything on Friday, which apparently is going to be a good one. Bardic Inspiration on Tuesday, and Evergreen Champions on Wednesday. Remember that you can follow Idle Champions on social media, and you can join our community on Discord, Reddit, and elsewhere. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan Blake Hall. That's my real name, but please call me Mars. On twitch.tv/Storyteller Mars, and just generally being active throughout our community, just everywhere. Thank you to Codename Entertainment, as always, for this incredible opportunity to be part of the game that I love so very, very much. And thank you to our wonderful moderators for all the excellent moderating that they so do. Wherever you are in our multiverse, please stay safe. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. The world needs it now more than ever. I'll see you again soon, and until then, look sharp. Cheers.